kids are the same thing. When they come in, somewhere in their superconscious, they know they connect with that thing. They can't explain it because in this physical, no parent can explain why they gravitate towards that thing because they've never seen it, not in this lifetime. But energy never dies when you come back. Is it to say that in all our lifetimes, ultimately we will arrive in the same place? The answer is
Namaste everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Consciousness. We have Master Shri Akarshana with us. Namaste, Master.
Namaste.
And we have the I'm Created team, Joshua, Andre, and Man. Thank you for being here. And everyone, my name is Nishma, and today in this episode we're going to be talking about spirituality, law of attraction, manifestation, and specifically today I would like to talk about our destiny paths. And the question, Master, is someone did mention it during one of your calls before, but I would like to bring it up again. So, we say that we all have a destiny, we all have a path, specific path. But what happens if we make different choices in this lifetime? Or do we eventually end up in the path where we're supposed to end up? Do we eventually get there even if we start making different choices? Or how do we know that we reached our destiny?
Okay, I think that's a very good question. Well, I always say to look at it like a computer game. So this is the human game. So in a computer game, there will be levels, there will be presets. So in the same way, when we say there's already written destiny, there is multiple already written destiny. Actually, in terms of completing the game, then it's kind of one way. We call it multiple destinies is because you in this lifetime can end up finishing the game anyway. So any way you like. Let's say, for example, if we put let's say, okay, so you got a human game, then you have, in a game you have, imagine it's a portable console, so it has battery. That battery will be the equivalent to your life, your lifespan. Human body, whether we like it or not, will deteriorate over time. So will battery. So you will play whatever level until the battery ends, right? Is there already written destiny? There's multiple ways this can end. I'm not going to call it destiny. I'm just going to say there's multiple ways this can end. It can end that you're on level 1, you jump up and down, nothing much happens, you don't accumulate any coins, you don't pass any levels, you just jump up and down and you couldn't even pass the first thing. You got bored. So you stayed stagnant in life. And then the battery died. So that could be the case. It could be the case that you got to level 2 or level 3. It could be the case that you got to level 3 and you got distracted by the amusement park that was on level 3. That was a lot of fun. You just ride that, drive that car around, go-karting or whatever you're doing. You just enjoy so much that you don't even want anything else. You decide that's what you want, right? When I say you don't want anything else, actually deep down inside, there's always a craving for more. Every single person who's watching this video can relate to it. It doesn't matter what you have. People in relationships, they will crave for more. People in careers, they will crave for more. People even have a satisfying job or a satisfying business will always crave for more, crave for something else. That desire, if people were to follow their heart, ultimately at the end of it will get to the destiny, which is the end, the completion of the game. Throughout the completion of the game, there will be a lot of challenges along the way, a lot, and they get bigger. But once one understands all the tools and all the things they need to have to get through the game, it's pretty straightforward. You get what I'm saying? They get it. There's a challenge. Okay, let me figure out a way and figure out a plan. Once I figure out a plan, I know how to execute, And I can tell Man has completed a lot of computer games before, so he knows the deal, He gets it. But for somebody who has not completed a lot of computer games, I haven't.
I haven't either.
So I would think that if you were to take a new computer game, let's say, and I was to play on one console, Man was to play on one console, I would think that he would probably complete it faster than me. because he's used to, okay, I get it, the tools, this is what usually happens, and coins is how you usually collect it, and tunnels is how you usually use it, or whatever, and cheat codes, this is how to find the cheat codes, so he will find them much faster because he's used to it, he's played it before. So in that sense, if we say in this lifetime, is it no matter what choice we make, we will end up on the same path anyway? No. Is it to say that in all our lifetimes, ultimately we will arrive in the same place? The answer is still no, because we can say what is all our lifetimes? Energy never dies, it keeps going. So it could be the case that every single life you come into, every time you come into the same thing as, I don't know, you just enjoy, you get distracted each time. Some people do, Some people, they play a lot of games, they never complete any. So it will happen like that. Ultimately, is there one way, one very nice way? Actually, there's a few ways to complete the game properly, finish the game. And if you look at a lot of yogis, masters, people who are moving into transcendence, samadhi, a lot of them are looking to also complete the game. And the idea of it then is to not come back into human form, basically to not play that game again. So I don't know if that answers your question or it gives you a lot more questions.
Yes, I have more questions now. So what happens if you want to complete? So what is their goal? Where do they want to go after completing this game? So there's another game, another level?
Yeah, so once you complete this game, there will be a different game. The game most likely, if you complete this game, the game most likely will be a lot bigger. It will be an outer level. You will remove from inside, you will be outside. So most likely it will be like that.
So does that mean this human game that we're playing, before we started playing this game, did we complete a different game and then we entered the human game?
It's most likely for majority of people that it's not that they completed a different game, that's why they're in this game. It's most likely that they were playing this game and they didn't complete this game and they come back. And this is what we were talking about this morning during the 108, is that you will have kids that naturally they'll gravitate, they'll see a tennis racket and they'll say, I want to play that. It's like, where on earth does that come from? And why would one kid with another kid, what would the difference be? Yesterday we were watching the Queen's Gambit. Why is it that some people gravitate towards chess? And some other kid and it's got nothing to do with the upbringing. It's not like their parents are playing chess or anything. It's just that they have this fascination, but they connect to it instantly. Why? It's very simple. It's like if there was a load of games here right now, and I seen Halo, I would say, hey, let's play. I would gravitate towards that. Why? Because I played it before. You see, if I see FIFA, then I'll play because I'll be like, oh, I want to play that one. So kids are the same thing. When they come in, somewhere in their superconscious, they know they connect with that thing. They can't explain it because in this physical, no parent can explain why they gravitate towards that thing because they've never seen it, not in this lifetime. But energy never dies when you come back. So it's most likely that that's what happens. The problem is, though, when you come into this game, then parents tell you should do something else. Teachers tell you should do something else. By the time you know it, you don't know what you're doing. Everyone's confused. You're working a job you don't enjoy. And then forget about what game you were playing before. Just some things you just call natural talent. I don't know. He started liking piano and singing, and he just, when he was 5. And we say, I don't know. But how? How is that possible? You see?
So what are your natural talents?
He's a boxer.
I was going to ask, so based on that, does everybody have a different end of the game then? Or because like you mentioned, yogis go towards transcendence. Is everyone's end of the game?
The goal is to complete like that.
Because
the goal is to complete, I'm not saying all, some goal is to complete like that because they want to go out for higher purpose next time.
But could, for instance, let's say someone who does something, I don't know, like Steve Jobs, for instance, if let's say he achieved certain things, could he lead the game like that because he achieved certain things? Or do you have to learn transcendence or like to transcend like that?
Could you leave the game? What do you mean?
Like,
Like, you
let's
mean like commit suicide, or you mean
Nah.
like natural death, or what?
like
what do you
let's say he completed certain things that he was
Yeah.
meant to complete.
Yeah.
Then would he be taken to the next game, or can you only go to the next game if you learn how to, let's say, transcend, like transcendence practices?
Yeah, there's so many games. So the answer to that is yes, kind of yes. Play another game. It could be a possibility, or yeah, play a bigger game is a high possibility because they have so many skill sets and tools that can help. Yeah,
But you say people choose to transcend because then they leave the game consciously
yeah,
and they get to choose which game they play after.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. You usually talent that is not long lived because of accidents that happen is not accident. In answering that question that you were saying just before,
As in the
because the outside, it's almost like a recruitment process. Like this is observing this in this level. Is that we're like guinea pigs in this game, so they're observing, and they'll pick out the best of the best. The rest they'll leave there to keep the game going. So the ones that are important to keep the game going, they'll leave there. The ones that they need for bigger roles, they'll bring out and then put you in the bigger game.
So would you say this is one of, people might not want to hear this, but would you say this is one of the easy games?
This because there's so many dimensions. I don't think that necessarily we can say that. In comparison to the big games, is it easy? Yes, but there's a lot of games. I mean, you can be an ant. You know, yeah, you can. You can be a tree. You can be these are all different games as well.
What's your most favorite game?
What's my most favorite game? The game I'm playing now, of course.
Oh, really?
Well, of course, because now I guess the blessing now is being able to play a few games, being connected. Because now we're playing human game is just for ice cream and pizza. So yeah, like Grandmaster always says. So energies love ice cream because we should eat this because when we leave, then the reason why we come back will probably be for that. Yeah, so
Because we're like, I want that pizza. Why didn't I have that last slice?
so in this game we can enjoy this, but I think it's a blessing to be able to have access to different dimensions, because you see the challenges also there, bigger roles, bigger responsibilities, but everything is they're not separate. So I think that might be the difference between computer games and these games, because dimension is within dimension, and dimension affects dimension. So when something happens outside, it will happen here as well.
This question popped up. So, but before we enter this human game, do we actually know our path? So how much choice do we have? Or like we have no control over what path we're going to be, or what destiny, what our path is? Or did we make that choice before we entered
You
the
have
game?
choice every single day, no? If that's the question.
No,
you mean you're put into this world, but you can choose. You eat pizza today, you don't eat pizza today, you get choice, no?
No, okay, I'm gonna be entering this game. So do you already know, like, this is the path I'm gonna be facing when I enter this human world? And once you're in the world, you forget everything, your memory is erased, and then you have to go through the whole journey. Is that how it is?
You bring on what you had from your past life.
So you remember everything.
So you bring on the consciousness from your past life. So all the mistakes you made, all the hacks in relationships and communication and dealing with people, you bring those through. So that's what you bring through. Entering in as baby, then the reset. So then comes the reset procedure, the 0 to 7 years old of forgetting and reprogramming, conditioning to play this game.
Wow.
Yeah, that reset, I think some people look at it very dark. I would like to see it not so dark, because wiping that is a good thing. Because it's almost like saying you're playing Call of Duty and then you play Halo, and then it's like saying, okay, let's get rid of, because look, you were pressing those buttons for that, and this time it's going to be slightly different. So you need to understand parents is going to be different, language is going to be different, everything's going to be different. So you're going to need to know the new rules. So forget that thing, and then reprogram you with, okay, now X does something else, the circle does something else, the triggers do something else. Now, so that's the 0 to 7, is how to play this game now. And then you go through that journey, you see. But many times we will suddenly get glimpses of that past to be able to bring in to how we adopt. Yeah.
Interesting. Man, you have...
I've been very quiet this. Yeah, so it's for me, I really enjoy being at, I guess, the witnessing area, just like listening to everyone's conversation and then being able to just indulge and, I guess, figure out what my interpretation of what everyone is saying.
That would make
And
a very good chat show.
I'm like, oh,
we
so
all
that's what it
witnessing.
is. Oh, that's what
We should start a new witnessing podcast show.
the inner man's thought.
We just witness.
So when you said before, Master, how life is like a portable game where you have this amount of battery, but what if there was like a constant charge? Could you not live forever?
I don't know. Can you? You see, they haven't came up with that yet. In future, there will be, because they are doing all the bionic robotic stuff. So they will be able to take your functions, brain, everything like that, to in half human, half body, half robot, and then to be able to live forever. So that will happen eventually. So right now, as we know it, I say as we know it, there's no constant charge. But actually it's already been developed. They just can't reveal it to the world yet. So, yeah.
So with the way
You're thinking to live forever.
Well-
You want to witness forever.
I just saw a constant charge there. I was like, I just saw a couple of constant charges there. I was like, why hasn't anyone put a constant charge on while I'm waiting for the battery to run out?
Actually, they're designing, they're coming up with it. But then you have another problem, then, is overpopulation. So everything will happen in perfect timing, including Elon Musk with the people traveling out to Mars, things like that. Even Richard Branson traveling with Virgin Galactic, traveling people out to space. All these developments are happening at the same time. Once that development is done, then we know we also won't have overpopulation as well. When we know we won't have overpopulation and we have more space to live in, then at the right time, everything will happen at perfect timing. There will never be a time where it comes to D-Day, finish everything. It will not. That's why, and this is part of the role, our purpose, and their purpose to guide us through to fulfill that purpose, is to evolve technology, evolution of the game while we're in the game. We are the technicians. We're working on it every single day with the drills, the hammers, everything. Like we're building the house right now, So we're designing that, and we're doing it on their behalf. So once all that is released, then there's more space. Then they will, in the right time, they will also allow for living forever. So then that technology will be able to be revealed. Otherwise, it'll be oversaturation. If from today onwards everybody live forever, we have a different problem in this world, So.
Go ahead. So would you say Master, like technology is always advancing, would you say that the advancements of technology would also advance in more conscious spirits being more awakened as well, or would you say technology would be a lot more, I guess, further on? Do you get what I mean? Like, would people have a sense of, oh, what's the need of spirituality when I can live forever through technology?
The purpose of spirituality is not necessarily to live forever. The purpose of when we talk about spirituality, all we talk about is consciousness. The same title as this show. So it's about awareness, knowing more. That's all. Yeah. So I think the advance of technology is with the help of spirituality. That's how I like to see it. You know, like Grandmaster always says, spirituality is a science. So it's all interlinked.
I had two questions. The first was basically, so you mentioned there's different games. So one game, for instance, could be, let's say, human game. Another game could be within this universe, right? As in like alien game. You could be like an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess there's a deeper game or a different game, which could be outside of this universe in different dimension. Would you say, is it the same difficulty to get to different games, or like alien game in this dimension is easier to get to from this dimension? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
You mean in meditation?
In anything?
To get to? Well, how
So
do
like-
you get to it?
So like people who complete this game, they would either be called or chosen to go to different dimension or same dimension but different life. Like
It's very open. It's not. There's not a ladder. There's not a one way. Because it depends on how powerful the spirit is. So there's no point in saying you go to space or you go to alien or whatever. There's no point in doing that if this is powerful enough just to put somewhere else. You see. So it's very open. It won't be like that. Yeah.
okay, cool. And second question.
I think half the people listening will not understand what we're talking about, but it's good.
Some people were like, aliens? What? There's aliens?
What's this got to do with it?
We mentioned destiny path, so you got that ultimate path that you're on, or that highest potential that you can reach in this form or whatever. So the average person doesn't really see that, So is there obviously people can see it through different practices, different things. Like we're on the 108 journey, like everyone's seeing more, being open to more. But would you say what are the main ways for people to maybe get a glimpse of that? Is it just being on the seeker's journey, keep on asking, or are there any other ways to get that glimpse? Because I feel like if someone has that glimpse of that potential, then what they will do in their day probably would be a lot.
Certain people, they take certain drugs and things like that, so they go there. This everything is cause and effect. So if we go that route, there is an effect, side effects. You see, so we prefer not to go that route. We prefer to go the most organic route. But other than that, I think, I think it is the seeker's journey. Seeker's journey is a lifelong journey. It's beyond this lifetime even, inclusive of me, inclusive of Grandmaster, inclusive of all masters. Actually, there's next levels of consciousness to seek, and that's why there's always next level of masters also there. So it's ongoing. I don't think the game, the goal for us as humans, we should not be chasing. We should not chase anything. We should also not chase knowing the whole Pandora's box, because we missed the plot then. We missed the ice cream. You see? So enjoy life. Everybody should learn to live the most beautiful life. So in every moment, how can we enjoy the moments? How can we feel gratitude? How can we have the most pleasant experience? And I think we should be thinking that way. And just be open for expanding our consciousness through time. And yeah.
The topic that we're talking about, it gets deeper and deeper every episode. It's really hurting my brain because I'm I've got more questions, and oh my gosh, when does it end? There'll be more questions. But anyways, guys, that's it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please let us know in the comments below what you liked about this topic and what your experience is. And if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to the channel as well and hit the notification button. That's the bell sign, by the way. And we'll see you on the next episode of Awaken Your Consciousness. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you.
Namaste.